Hey up everyone, how are you all doing? I've got a lot of work on at the moment. I've got a transit van to get ready for hopefully the weekend. So our transit van got stolen, the silver one which we use for Ukraine and camping, stuff like that. Very sad, but I've got a replacement van. I've had it for about, I think, a couple of months now, but we've not done much with it. And what I plan to do is customise it inside so it's got better seats in it, because the transit seats are quite uncomfortable. And I'm going to do the back end as well, the cargo area, put a few tool shelves in there, some lights, a carpet the floor, stuff like that. Get it all kitted out for when you want to go motocrossing or camping, anything like that. So what I'm going to be doing today is I've been to the scrapyard. I've bought myself some, for 50 quid, got some Peugeot 3008 front seats, so driver seat, passenger seat. Got them out of a crash car. They're really good condition. We'll clean them all up. Becky's just giving them a vac out. And I'm going to fit those into the transit van. I'm going to do away with the transit seats and fit these comfy Peugeot ones, okay? The van is a little bit of a mess, so I'm going to vac it out first. I've got the seats out. The transit seats are ripped out and the Peugeot ones are laid side by side. So we're going to rip off the subframe from the transit seats and see what we need to do to cut and weld those mounting brackets onto the Peugeot one so we can fit it into the van. Let's take a look. So here we are, this is the van, and it's a right mess, isn't it? It's pretty rock solid underneath, there's no rust on it, but just we did actually vac this van out, but I've removed the seats and I do not know what someone has been doing with this, but it is an absolute chaotic mess. This floor is going to get covered as well, so these are now gone. The rear seats are just there. I've taken the driver's seat out, that's in the garage. I'm going to work on the driver's seat first, and I most likely will be cutting that frame off the passenger seats and try and fabricate that to fit on the Peugeot ones. So first job I'm going to be doing is vacuuming this out. We're going to do a lot of work on this and get it all cleared up. I want this floor covering. I'm going to get some lights in here. Got some velvet stuff to stick on the side walls there. We'll get it all tricked out. Okay, let's get cracking, let's get cleaning. That looks way better, so we're just waiting for that to dry now, but look at that, absolutely spotless. It's good underneath, no rust, nothing. I'm going to do that side later, but that is a top job from good old dirt shifter. Okay, so this is the hard part now, getting this frame transferred to that one or modifying that one to suit this one. These are the seats, by the way, in perfect condition. Becky's cleaned them up for me with a wet vac. I love this, nice to keep your head supported. I find lots of cars with a headrest, you kind of never sit in a comfortable position. Your head's always tilted back no matter what they are, but these look pretty good. I like the pattern it's on these, almost like some camouflage pattern. It's grey and black, and I just love that pattern on them. I'm glad I dropped on these. They're in perfect condition. I can't wait to get them on. Okay, so what I need to do, I get one chance at this. I can correct anything that goes wrong. So this is just literally 5mm bigger than those, otherwise it would have just bolted straight on, perhaps with a little bit of drilling. This is taller, so I can't really get this to fit this frame. I've sat in it already, my head's touching the ceiling. So I either chop this down or I cut that out and weld this frame to here. It needs to be safe. It will be safe. But we also have controls for the seats, so I believe all the controls for this seat are up here, so I don't need to worry about that. And this is the difficult part now, is getting this right, so I'm not sat at an angle. I can recline the seats and do everything I need to do with it. I'm not going to use any of this. This is the heated seat element, I think, in there. That's for heated seat, but I don't really know which one of those wires is for the heated seat or the airbag. I can trace it back, but I don't want to obviously put voltage to that because it could set the airbags off. Right, okay, so I'm going to get my thinking head on, scratch my head. I think it's best off stripping all this cushion out because I don't need any of that. It's getting thrown away. Because the seat's collapsed down there anyway, so all that's going to go. I'll strip that and then see what I can do with it. Okay, so I've stripped off a little bit more than I expected. So here's the two seat bases. I've got the Transit one there, the Peugeot one there, and I need to figure out now just how I'm going to make these two work. So I didn't expect to do so much cutting and welding, but it's got to be done, I'm afraid. I've also found something. The Transit seat, no wonder it felt a bit wonky, it's broken, look at that. Snapped there, so it must have been some really big fella or big lass who's been sat on that. That was well gone. So I'm going to, first thing I'm going to do is weld that up, fix that, and I've got to decide how exactly I'm going to transfer this to there. So that is going to be gone. It's not the right size, and I think I may end up just cutting all this off and welding this platform onto this base here and just strengthen it through the middle. Obviously I want this to be safe. I probably will cut that off as well, don't need that. But I did like this mechanism where it raises the seat up. This is raised up at its fully height now, it's at full extent, but it's too high. I'm going to be like touching the ceiling on the van. So one good thing about the Transit is you can tilt the seat forwards and backwards and raise it up as well, whereas this one just raises up and down. So decision time. Let's get this welded up and we'll see where I can go from there. Alright, so I'm ready to cut and weld. I've looked at this quite a lot now. I'm trying to find an option of what to do to get down there or get down there, but that needs to go onto this base basically. That's welded up. I've just tried the seat raising and lowering position. It works fine now. I'm going to put some oil on it. It's a little bit stiff. So I'm going to cut this off. I'll cut that off. I could really just grind out these spot welds and remove the whole thing and perhaps spot weld or just weld that onto here, but I need this entire mechanism, well this structure should I say, I need this entire structure to be on there so I can mount the backrests and stuff like that. So what my plan is, I'm going to cut this here and cut that one there, and this piece here should sit on there. I'm going to weld that on to this. So Polio, let's get some cutting done and weld with my bloody eyes shut because my mask is knackered. I want to get this done today. I always say that. Right, at least let's cut that off. That's cut and removed. I've used the flat disc just to grind out any sharp edges. There's one or two I need to go over again with the file sander. I don't want any sharp edges under there or metal splinters, so there's a couple there. So I'm just going to finish getting those little splinters smoothed out and then we'll start chopping this. Okay, so it's all cut out now, let's take a look. Right, so here we go. I'm still concerned about the height of it. But like I said, the seat does lower down itself anyway. It kind of does fit, it's a little bit bigger here. So I might have to flip those round or something. That is going to have to be cut out a bit more, or I'm going to have to cut something out here to get that to fit in properly. Other than that, I can see how I'm going to do it, it's not far off. Yeah, we'll get this. We'll get it. Right, well I'm almost done. Well, I believe I'm almost done. Last few hours I've done so much cutting and grinding. Let's take a look at where we are. Okay, so this is the seat pan. It's fitted into place now. Finally got it in place. And it's going to be welded across there. I cut off this bar here and the one underneath, but I re-welded that because I want to give it some structural strength. I've cut out around here. This is going to get welded in all around here, so it's nice and strong. That's going to get welded there. These are going to get welded on the inside also. A lot of welds are going to go down on this. So I've had to cut lots of this away. I don't want to lift it off because I've got it into position now. I'm going to tack it in and test it. I've already tried it, putting a seat base on there. It seems to be all nice and level. It does fit. I've also got to put the what's it called? I don't know where I put that actually. The seat support, that should have really hooked around there, but this is in the way. So I'm going to cross this bridge later. I have tried it with a seat on, just like that, because I like my car seats to be flat, not tapered back, and this seat originally was tapered back slightly. I can taper it back just by pulling that lever, but I've tried it on, the seat on there, seat base, it seems to be okay. That sits in nice and fine, but like I said, we'll come back to that later. The support, I can still do a little bit more cutting and what have you. Right, okay, so it's welding time. Let's get this thing welded up and see if we've destroyed it or see if we've modified it. Right. That is proper welded to this now. There's no breaking that at all. They're not really neat welds, but they're functional welds. Proper welded. That is rock solid. Now let that cool. Go have a beer. That is all completed. Done. I've put some paint on all the welds, make sure they're all protected. I've fitted this seat base support. I've tie wrapped the transit one on as well, just to give it a little bit more rigidity. All I need to do now is wait for that paint to go off, and then I can put my seat base on and get the backrest fitted and get it mounted in the transit. I've also modified the bracket there that holds this on, and it won't go because it's not far enough off the bench. This, I've tried it, I've bolted it on already, and it fits bang on just like that. So I can have the original transit cover on there. Right. Okay, that's all from me tonight. I'm gonna get some food, get a beer, get washed, and can't wait for tomorrow. I'll try that seat out, make sure it's comfortable. Okay. Now then, all the little clips that this used to attach to have all gone. So what I need to do is fasten this under there. How can I do it? Right, so the plan now is to secure this tightly under here. I don't have any elastic or anything like that. So what I'm going to do is drill some holes in this plastic and these down here and pull it tight and lock it into somewhere here and get it nice and taut. I'm going to have a look see if I've got anything elasticated actually before I do this. Feeling that it should work. It's all trial and error. So what I'm doing, I'm using this old jumper wire here. It's steel wire, so it's nice and taut as that. I'm pulling it in and I'm going to fasten it with this in all the areas. That just fits through there. I've cut a couple of little holes in there so it fits onto the seat adjusters. This will clip down here later. Put a little tire up there. Hopefully it should keep it all nice and taut. So I'll crack on with the rest of this and get back to you. Okay, so that is all together. What I need to do now is modify this plastic cover to cover that. There we go, it's all done. Get that fitted now and test it out. Spot on, that. Absolutely beautiful. That's nice and comfy. I can't wait to get out on the road with this van and travel in style. So my seat can recline far back if I want to relax. If I'm stuck in traffic, something like that. I can also adjust my headrest. The headrest pulls out. Most cars, I find every car or van I drive, you lay back on the headrest and your head just seems to go like this. But this one is pretty good, well designed. It pulls out like that and your head is just in the right position to relax it. And I can go forward. It's just a perfect height, got loads of headroom. Absolutely over the moon with this, brilliant. I've also got lumbar support there for my dodgy back. Electric seats. Oh, that is amazing. That's amazing. A massive transformation. I think I could possibly do with it being a little bit higher, but then again, there's not much headroom there, so it is where it is. It is where it needs to be. Oh, I'll put my side panel on here and then we'll test out the tilt and drop forward. Okay. And there it is, all completed. So I put the seatbelt anchorage down there as well, and the other side to the seatbelt anchorage, it bolts straight onto original transit frame, so none of that's been disturbed. Look at that, beautiful. That seat is a lot better than the original one. Pretty proud of that. Okay, passenger seat now. So I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to chop this off, that off there. I don't need any of this back part. Don't need these. What I aim to do is weld the existing seat right onto this. So I'm going to have to strengthen all this out. I'll probably use some of this metal from here. Whatever metal I've got. I'm going to strengthen this out so it's a solid base. I'll cut these tubes down. Cut some tube out of it. Of all of it, so the whole thing drops down. I'll re-weld it. Need to measure the height with the other seat to make sure it's not too high or not too low. So first thing I'm going to do is start cutting all these brackets off, so I've got a flat base here. Get rid of all the things I just definitely don't need, including that. Right. Okay, so it's an update. This is a really messy workshop at the moment. I'm just soldering on with this. I don't care what crap I'm working in. I've gone right ahead, so as you can see, this looks totally different now. I've tested this out in the van. Where shall I start basically? What I've done, I've lowered it. I've took 6 inches from this. I've measured the seat height in the van. I took 6 inches off this and welded it all back together just around there. I've taken out the supports. I'm going to put my own supports in there and a seatbelt anchorage later on, which is going to go over here. I've cut these runners out of some angle iron that I have. I'm going to weld these in now, and the seat base is going to attach to this. I was going to bolt it so I can remove it in future, just in case I need to replace something, but then again, what's the point in doing that? I'm going to weld it flat this so it's permanently fixed, it's nice and strong. I'm going to put some more supports at the back, I think, and that's about it. So right now I'm going to weld these in, grind them flush, grind all these corners flush as well, and it will get a little bit of paint with the seat on. The seat's over there, and we should have this done today if the paint dries. Right, welding time. Just trying it out before I completely weld it, so I've tack welded the seat in, and feels absolutely bang on. Really impressed. Right, so I think on that note I'll weld it fully up, get it painted, then we're done. Yes. Right, so it's done. Oh my god, it is a mess in here. Absolute mess. Check it out. Look at the state of my garage. It is just simply wrecked in here. All for a pair of seats, but Becky will help me clean this up. I treat her to a nice little bit of fish and chips or something like that. Right, so all I'm going to do now is let that cool down, give it a wire brush, and paint it black with some metal preserver. That is welding solid. But yeah, we'll let that cool. Spot on. Knackered. That's what I am. Check that out, everybody. Seats look perfect, feel perfect. We're just taking it for a little test drive now. I've actually been to the rubbish tip to dump all the crap we've used, and Becky's sat here. She says it's nice and comfortable. Great improvement that. We can easily just get up and walk into the back if we need be. The back part of the van is the next job. We're going to get this floor soundproofed and start covering all the interior and making a floor for it. But the seat is a great choice. Lovely and comfortable. Can't wait to be a passenger in here. I think what I may do in the future is just take another inch off that frame to lower the seat down, because the seat is at its lowest point at the moment. It's the lowest point, but it's still level with the driver's seat. However, I do have a lever here which I can pull, if you can see, won't mind my fat belly, and the seat will raise up. Where are we? The seat will raise up, look. Excuse a bad cinematography. But that height is not really any good or any use to me whatsoever. I can go back. It does feel okay being high up actually. I like that. So I can raise the seat and drop it down. But I think what I'll do, excuse me while I lower my seat, I think what I'll do in the future is just take another inch off that frame so that when I do lower the seat to its lowest point it's even lower. That way I can stretch out a little bit more. But there's plenty of room there, loads and loads and loads of leg room. And before in a Transit you're sat like that. I can't stand that. So that is as far as the back of the seat goes. Lots of room there. Okay. We'll call it a day, and I'm going to get the back washed out and then get the soundproofing laid down. Next job. See you later, catch you next time.